was deliberately allowing a little time for people to arrive. It's usually our tradition on the first day, seeing that some of us will be trying to locate the venue. And that's why we give 20 minutes for arrival and all that. Can you record? Okay. Yes, we are recording. Everything is recorded. We are recording it already. Yeah, we share for everybody. So he's asking if we can record. So we stream our trainings live on Zoom because as we speak, we have 22 people already on Zoom. So because we stream live, we also keep the record of all our trainings. So at the end of the class, we download it and share with everyone through the class WhatsApp group. I will talk more about that. I was saying that we usually allow some time on day one for arrival, but subsequently, we give just about 10 to 15 minutes for arrival from the next class. So between 9 and 9:15 at most, we expect you to have done your accreditation every Saturday. What you did there this morning is what we call accreditation. What usually happens there is your manual for the day is given, and then your attendance is taken. And for those of us who probably are subscribing to the installment payment pattern, probably want to make your installment. So those are the three key things that happen at the accreditation table every Saturday. Your attendance is taken. The manual for that particular day is given because we give out the learning manual every day. If you observe the one you're holding here, week 1, that means we are expected to finish discussing the materials that you are holding. Next week, you're given another material, the upper week, so it keeps like that until your class finishes. The third thing, the second thing, apart from your material, is attendance. Please, always be observant to ensure that your attendance was ticked. It is not an academic setting, it's professional setting. We don't play with attendance because research has shown that much learning happens when you are physically when you are available, as in when you are listening, as compared to when, not that when you read, you can't understand, but I tell you, research again has shown us that very few people go back to check their notes after a certain training or workshop. So most time, the learning happens when we are discussing. We keep attendance. We keep 2 forms of attendance. For those of us who are physically here, when you're coming in, you take your attendance, make sure they do that. But we have a control copy again. When you come in at a particular point in class, the facilitator will give out an attendance sheet. So we keep 2 attendance anytime we come here. The reason we do that is so that in case, maybe for any reason, it was not ticked here, there is no way you won't write your attendance in here. So when someone's attendance is missing out there, we don't expect it to be missing out in the in-class attendance. You get it? So that helps us to deal with any conflict of, oh, I was there, I was not there, and so on and so forth. Those of us on Zoom, the way we keep your attendance is that once you come in to the Zoom class, first thing first, go to the chat box, type your full name, and in bracket, your phone number, and send just like a chat. Because everything is recorded, later on after the class, we'll print it out. We'll print out the attendance of all of us on Zoom. We will share with you our training execution policy later on, and you're going to see that one of the items that a minimum attendance of 80% is required before assessment and certification for each course. By implication, if you must miss a class for any course, miss any class or any course, not more than one. Is that okay? Please. Now, because of technology also, speaking to those of us who are physically here, if for any reason, maybe within the week, official assignment takes you outside Abuja, or whatever happens and you're not able to come physical to your class, always make a request for the link for the, let's say, for example, you observe you won't be available next Saturday or any Saturday. On a Friday before the Saturday, request for the link, you understand, and you'll be given so that wherever you are, you won't be missing out. You get it? The same class happening now is what 33 of them now on Zoom are still listening to at the same time. We are going to be together for the next about 8 to 10 Saturdays, weekends. Our classes happen on weekends because all of us know Monday to Friday we are busy. So we're going to be together. Usually when we resume, I understand most of us subscribe to multiple programs of up to 6. The way we run it is that we begin with project management because project management takes us longer time to finish. My July people, I'll introduce myself. I'm the one that takes project management. You see other faces for other programs. I think on the average, your class is the 9th class on my own program this year. I think on the average, I have spent about 6 Saturdays to finish my project management only. Because there is a global standard, we cannot go short than that. So it takes me an average of 6 Saturdays. Sometimes I can encroach into 7. You get the as in contact for me to complete the discussions and the learning process in managing projects. So project is the only program that takes that long. Every other program like human resource management, like health, safety and environment, like customer service, and the rest of them, they take us 3 Saturdays on training and 1 week period for assessment. So you can say 4 Saturdays, 4 weeks for each of them to finish. So how do we ensure that they seem to finish almost at the same time? When a session begins like yours that have started today, we begin with project management. Sometimes we do project management the first day and project management the second day. From the 3rd contact, you start running 2 courses concurrently. This is what I mean. Today is 3rd. So we're focusing on projects. Next week, we'll focus on projects. So we've eaten 2 days into project. From 17th, for example, let's say I have HR also in my course. From 17th, I'll start running project management and HR concurrently. You understand? That day will be the 3rd contact of project management. Then by the 2nd contact of HR, that'll be my 4th contact of project management. By the 3rd contact of HR, that will be my 5th contact of project management, and my HR ends. By the 6th contact of project management, I'll begin my HSC. You understand? And that's when my project management will also end. By the 7th contact, I will carry my HSC and my public speaking concurrently. I hope you're getting my explanation. So in a simple word, we have our people, our trainees, focus on 2 programs at the same time. Of course, after project management has been eaten into a little so that we can see how we can finish it together. So that is how we run. I think I will still make explanation about this when the class is relatively full. Please, those of us on Zoom, our ground rule is not much. Basically, when you are on Zoom, your microphone should be off and your camera should also be off. The reason is because if we have more than one mic on, there will be noise. We may not really get to hear the facilitator very well. When your camera is on, like one of us, my dear, your camera is on, maybe your beautiful face or your handsome face could really distract us. I think I have about some of you, you're smiling. So what we do on Zoom is you have to take responsibility of your own device. Put off your camera, put off your mic. We always want you to be in charge of that. That doesn't mean that the host of the meeting, that the facilitator, cannot override you. Yes, when we warn you over and over to say, put off your mic, if you don't, or your camera, the penalty is that we put you back to the waiting room. So we send you back to the waiting room. Being in the waiting room means you won't hear anything we are saying, and that's bad. You get it? So I'm sure you don't want to have that happen to you. Okay, those of us on Zoom, can we all actively do that? If you have your camera on, if you have your mic on, just put it off so that we can go on. Please do that. I can do it for you, but do it. You understand? Thank you. At the end of every one course, you'll be expected to take an assessment for that course. For example, when you finish your HR, it will give you like a period of some days. Let's say you finish your HR today, in the last contact. We'll give you about 3 days or thereabout to review your material. And then we send you your username and password for that particular course to take your assessment. Our assessment happens on our portal, portal.dexterheroes.com. Don't bother about that. When you're getting closer, you will have a document that gives you all that information. Is that okay? Now, there are all multiple choice questions. Like most of us have written CBT tests before. You just click your answers and you submit and you see your result immediately. Now, when you finish a course and finish an assessment on a course, you're entitled, you earn a professional credential from that. So when I finish my HR, I will have my certificate on human resource management. When I finish my project management, I will have my certificate on project management. When I finish my health, safety, and environment, I will earn a credential, a certificate on that. Okay, one of us entered as Techno, come on 12 Air. I think I will penalize you, but this is the last yellow card. Thank you. You know what to do. All right, so when you finish your customer support, you have an assessment and you have your credential on that. So each of them, it means by the time you finish your entire programs, for those of us running up to 6 programs, you're earning 6 professional credentials. All of them, except HSE, are jointly awarded by IOMP. That's our affiliate professional body. HSE jointly awarded by Institute of Occupational Safety Management. You get it. So of which you also qualify at the same time at the end of your program to become a member of any of them if you so wish. Come on, Techno, come on 12 Air. I'm putting you to waiting room and I think you know why you are there. All right. I don't know whether there's anything I'm forgetting before we go into today's training and stuff. So like I said, manual will be given to you every day. For me, I give out the manual for my course project management following the life cycle of projects. So that's how I give us. So the manual you're holding is the project framework, like introductory and project initiation. The next manual I'll give you is project planning. The next manual I'll give you is project execution. The next manual I'll give you is project monitoring and controlling with project closing. That's how my manual. So you're expecting to have about how many? 5 categories, you understand? But they will come 4 because closing, I joined it together with monitoring and controlling, saying that it's just only one process that happens in closing. Now, as we receive each manual in printed version, we also make available the soft copy for you. We share the soft copy through the class WhatsApp group. So by the end of today, we are going to migrate every one of us here into the class WhatsApp group. Those people who are on Zoom are already on the WhatsApp group because we needed to put them first so that they can have the soft copy of the manual you have. Now, the manual we send on soft copy is far more comprehensive and detailed than the printed one. The printed one, we are constrained by costs. For the soft copy, we are not constrained by costs. So most of the things, for example, my own course, project management, most of the things you hear me explain verbally has also been translated in writing in the soft copy of the manual. It is also arranged in a PowerPoint slide form, but in a more comprehensive way, so that they can be learners friendly, meaning when you read, it's as if somebody is still talking to you from behind and all that. Is that okay? Thank you. We usually open this door when we begin a session on the first Saturday, on the first class, and leave it open on second class, meaning this door will still be open by next week. After next week, we shut it, meaning we won't admit anybody into this session. So that's what we do, because we would have gone somewhat far and all that. We always have a governor in every class. I think that should be my last for now. If there's anything I'm forgetting, once I remember it, I'll say. But for now, can we have a governor? We need a volunteer. It could be a lady. It could be a gentleman, please. A governor, please. Just make it fast for us. Your mind prompts you to be our governor. The governor will also be an admin when we have everybody on the WhatsApp group. Now, the WhatsApp group is not open for every posting. We restricted that only admin should post. The only reason we did that is so that we can only put what is relevant. And that will also help us that anytime you see a notification from that group, you automatically know that that's important, because we don't just post anything. I'm also, I don't know about you, if I check my phone, I belong to nothing less than 15 to 20 groups. It really can be a distraction, you understand? So why add more? So, and again, surely the course group has an expiring period. When the objective for the course has been achieved, why not? I can exit if I want to exit, and so on and so forth. Is that okay? Can we have a governor, please? A man or a lady? All right, thank you. I don't know which of them we are going to. One raised, one stood up. Thank you, sir. Thank you. What's your name, sir? No, you come up. You that stood up. I'm coming to you, sir. Yes. Olua, Sheung, thank you. Sheung, thank you, sir. What's your name, sir? Samuel. All right, okay. Samuel, Olua, Sheung. So we're going to have them as our governors, and we're going to have maybe a lady join them, since we already have two. Can we have one? Thank you. What's the name? Scarlett. Scarlett. Whoa, that's classic. Thank you. So Sheung, Samuel, Scarlett. You understand? Before the class runs out, I will try to know which is your number, and then so that we can make you guys admin. Sometimes facilitator, we promise something while taking a class, and after the class, during the week, he forgets. So you hold the facilitator accountable for whatever he said, she said, she will do. How many of us checked out Dexter and Heroes before you start coming? Websites, you browsed, thank you. Put up your hand. This is what we were trying to do. Okay, thank you. Oh, I think this is the best we've had this year of people doing a background search before they come for their class. I always encourage that. Please come on. You know, I've been wanting come on over and over. He's the only person defaulting our grand rule. Your device name is one of us on Zoom. Your device name is Techno. Come on, 12 Air. Your mic, you keep putting it on when I put it off. I have put you in the waiting room and I brought you back, and you're still doing it. Please, can you help us? Please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You understand? Help us put off your mind. I don't like putting people in waiting room because it means they are missing out. Thank you so much for responding. Thank you. So please, if you've not been able to check out Dexter and Heroes, please. I think we are smelling 13th year in operation. We are more than 12 years in operation. So being around for more than 12 years, you should be able to find something reasonable. It's always good to investigate people or an organization before you start relating with them. That gives you confidence. You're not coming to spend. In fact, the money you are paying, whatever you're paying, is little, is nothing compared to the time you're going to be spending. So I don't think you want to spend that time with an organization that you can't trust, that is not credible. But just to say a little about us, why I allow you to do your own search, is this is our, like I said, more than 12 years in operation. We began operation in 2010, July, you understand? And of course, within this period, if I get the numbers right, I think we've had more than 15,000 professionals pass through here. Some of them came over here to train. Some of them, we went over to their company to train them. So we also, so our training is of two categories, what we call open course programs and what we call in-house programs. In-house is when we come to your company, you've written us or you've called us, that you have a group of your staff members that need to be trained on so area. And then we come in and you probably say you have 3 days to give us for that, and that's all. You understand? That is it. You get it? Well, we have done such for many organizations, both in public sector and also in private sector. Open course is the one individual sponsor themselves, like what you did. They pay for themselves and then they come in. Truly, sometimes companies sponsor their staff to also join our open course if they feel they don't have that time to give us within their working period for training and all that. So putting together the people that have passed through Dexter and Heroes, it's more than that 15,000. So our vision is that by 2050, for every organization in Africa, or 50% rather of organizations in Africa, we would have been part of their business story. What does that mean in translation? It means we are targeting by 2050 that 50% of institutions as in businesses in Africa, when you get in there, you have someone that we have done one thing or the other with Dexter and Heroes. And I think we have some indicators that helps us. For me, I've been working with Dexter and Heroes for a very long time. And most time when I go, there's scarcely any gathering I go to that I don't get someone to say, I know you. You understand? And that's a huge indicator. There's scarcely any organization I go to in this town that someone maybe on the walkway, on the staircase, on the lift, say, that's Mr. Madin, I know him. And I'll be struggling to say, once he said Mr. Madin, I know he's from Dexter and Heroes and all that. So we are working towards that and so on. One thing we don't play with is our quality in service delivery. Please, when you visit our website, dexterheroes.com, it should be somewhere at the last page of your document. Check out what also we do. And again, please, in case your company needs any of the services, you can count on us. This is marketing now. Thank you so much. My name is Amadi. Let's begin. I'll be with you throughout for project management. And I try so much to be available, except for a few occasions when something comes, I'm not in Abuja. And then we have one of my colleagues take a class for me. But even if any of my colleagues takes a class for me, scarcely will it be more than one class, because when I begin my PM with a session, I want to finish it. So you call me Amadi, I'm a PMP. What that means is that I'm one of the holders of the highest honor, professionally speaking, in project management on earth. That honor is bestowed upon by PMI, Project Management Institute in United States, PMI. So that honor is bestowed upon by PMI. So I'm sure some of us can see PMI somewhere. You get bestowed upon by PMI in US. PMI is one that provides the standard for project management professional. So since 2012, I earned that honor up to date. So I've been leading development in project management, in organizational leadership, management, and change management, organizational change management. So those are areas where you see me comfortable, quite comfortable. For project management alone, your class, I think I should be close to 180 something sessions, project alone. I'm calculating both my session in Dex and Euros and my session in other organizations, because I'm also a faculty member with several other organizations. So when I put all my session in leading development in project, it's about 180 something sessions. In football, they say caps and all that. I'm not trying to paint a picture that I know everything. No, I keep learning every day. But I'm going to be leading your discussion, and I know we're going to have fun together, learning on how to deliver projects successfully. Later on, you will meet your HR facilitator, Sharma. You're going to meet Engineer Akinsola, Tokwe Akinsola, who will be for your HSE. You're going to meet Mr. Dennis Idoko in your customer service and your public speaking sessions. And it goes on that way. So as the courses unfold, you'll meet all these faces. And of course, you're going to meet architect Solomon Young, who also is part of our faculty member in project management as well. Good morning. When you refer to me, just say Amadi, I'm fine with that. Don't put title, Mr., Mrs. No, I'm Amadi. Thank you. Let me sample you. Why are you here? Please, it's an adult session. Is Peter around? Peter, Olive, I'm sorry, what's Osline? Are they around? Okay. All right, thank you. Please, it's an adult session, meaning we discuss. It's a two-way communication. Don't be scared of making a wrong or incorrect, maybe submission. That's why we are here. If it's not correct, we'll all learn the correct one, and then we improve. Is that okay? Please don't make it. Encourage whoever is here, not just me, whoever you meet, leading discussion. If you observe, I've been using the terminology lead discussion. I've not been saying teaching, because we don't teach adults. You understand? Everybody is on. My mic is on. The person is the person's device. You get it? So please, let's talk. Ask questions, answer questions, in as much as we always reserve question asking to the last. So you note your questions down. That helps us to save time. Somebody say we can't hear. Are you sure? My mic is live and okay. My mic is okay. Sorry, let me just do my sound check. Abdullahi Nebletu, if you can hear me, can you say good morning to the class? Mute your mic. Abdullah.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. So, thank you, Abdullah. You can mute your mic back. Andrew Peace. If you can hear me, can you just say good morning?
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Andrew. So I think I think one of us complained by chat that you can't hear me. Please check your device. It may be from your own end. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Why are you here? Let's begin. And I can point anybody to say something. So always have something to say. I can point you to say, yes, my brother. What's the motivation? What motivated you? Yes. To acquire professional certificate. Very, very straightforward. He knows what he wants. Yes. What? Thank you, sir. You can sit. To acquire knowledge. Those of us on Zoom, please, you can just type in the chat box, what's your motivation for running all this program? Go ahead, sir. To add more. Thank you. Yes, why are we here? Why are we here? Scarlett, share your view. Why are you here? To acquire knowledge and to get a particular niche. All right. What's the name, man?
Bolaji.
Bolaji, share with us. What's your motivation?
I need the professional certificate to acquire knowledge.
Thank you. She needs a professional certificate and to acquire more knowledge in the project. Thank you. Yes, sir. Awesome. Thank you. A young engineer, fresh guy. Okay. Some of us are writing. Somebody wrote to be a project manager, to build a better resume. I am here to learn more and add value to my degree, BTech, to be professionally wise to handle different kind of construction project or activities, to boost my academic horizon. Also, horizon, okay. I understand the importance of this skill to excel in the corporate world and also have a few projects I like to carry out in the future. Okay, all right. A young guy, background engineering, was invited for an interview in a bank. He had written their first test, second test. He had done the first interview, the second, this was the final stage of the interview. As he walked into the room, there were these three guys in the panel. As he sat down, they looked at him and asked him just one question. Why do you want to work in our bank? That was the question they asked him. And the guy answered, I want to work here to make money, travel out for my postgraduate. Everybody was dazed. The three guys were like, who is this human being? Let's play around that a little. What do you think? If you're the one, will you give that guy a yes? Will you hire that person? Maybe we can organize our inputs. You said no. Why? You can sit. Just voice out. Why?
So every organization, as I know it, has an objective to achieve.
Yes.
And if you are coming in, you are supposed to contribute to the goals and objective of such an organization. And by so doing, you gain the process thereby, which is the take home and the benefits embedded in that organization. So you shouldn't put the cart before the horse.
Okay.
I think you should be more of an addition to the company, then you take home the process.
Whatever the process. So your thinking is selfish. He's not having the organization in mind.
No, it's putting the organization's interest first.
Okay, did you say yes, you give him the job?
No.
No. Okay. All right, thank you. Somebody said yes. Who, please? Please, can you share your thoughts? Sheung, right?
I said yes because you asked, or I asked him why he wants to come. And from his own honesty, he said the truth. Saying the truth alone is a value to you.
Yeah.
Which means if he starts working in the company, he's going to be honest with everything he's doing. He doesn't have to come and pretend and tell me some other way things. That's what just as much to get it. So see that.
Thank you, Sheung. Can I have more inputs? Maybe one more. Yes, Scarlett, I'm coming to you, sir.
Okay, I don't know what like what he's offering. Apart from that,
Please, can we hear her?
apart from that question, my answer would be what he's offering. Like if he's good at what he's doing, like I don't mind what he's bringing in. Like I don't mind.
Yeah, why do you want to work in our
Why
bank?
do you want to work here? I just want what you're bringing in. So as far as he's doing good with us, that's
Thank you. Yes, sir. I'm coming. Yes, sir. You wanted to say something. Speak out, please, sir.
I'll give him the job
You give him the job. You have your reasons?
because
Okay, let's hear. Let's make it one discussion.
the aim of everybody looking for a job is to earn money.
Yes.
And
One house, please, sir. Go ahead.
the aim of everybody is to earn money. Since he was honest enough to do that first, and that was his goal, to make money and go for it.
Mm.
That means he's going to be straightforward to do the work, get paid when it's time for it.
Here we
He does
go.
not have to.
Thank you, sir. Last, finally, please, so that we can continue.
For example, let's say I'm looking for a work with CBN,
One house,
and
please.
they asked me, why do you want to work with CBN? And I said, because I want to steal money. I'm being honest. But the truth about it is that even though I'm being honest, it is not a criteria for me to bring value. Yes, my honesty, you have heard chiefs that say, I'm coming to attack this village. They still attack. Are they doing the right thing? No. So I believe he's being honest, but doesn't have value. You understand? Yes, people can be honest at this level, but what value?
Remember, it's not a debate. We're only sharing our thoughts.
Okay, I want to give him a job with other more questions to know. I will not just stop there. I want to know exactly what he can bring to the table. Is he only just honest? You understand? That's for me.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, we can really continue engaging. No, Sheung, no, let's continue. Let's continue. Since I said that will be the last input, we can continue to engage on this later on. No, we can continue to engage on this later. It's a subject that will not end. So, but let's continue. No. Let's leave it for here. Because we surely will have those two categories of view. Some of us will give it to him. Some of us will say, this guy, you're not serious. Well, the conclusion, no, he got the job. It's not my own. He got the job. You understand? So he got the job. You know, they gave him the job. And guess what? That was the only question they asked him in that interview. Because they were not expecting that response. And like Sheung said, I think they were blown away by the guy's honesty. But guys, gentlemen, ladies, one size does not fit all. Don't go to interview tomorrow and then they ask you, why do you want to work with us? And you say, because I want to make money and go and buy a car. You understand? Be emotionally intelligent to know the right response for every situation. You understand? But for him, it worked for him. Is that okay? Your input is very, very correct. There may be criteria for selection that will bring us value. What you said is true. I'm hiring people because I need people who will help us achieve our business objective. What you said is true. This guy is going to be honest. He's going to be straightforward in his dealings and so on. So whatever angle we come from will actually be correct. It's just a function of what the organization is looking for. Now let's look at it from the guy's perspective. He had a goal. One of us shared that at the back. He had a goal, and that is good. And that is what brought me to this. You understand? to conclude that if you don't have a goal for running this course, for this stress you want to go through for the next 2 months or thereabout, if there is no goal, check this door, it's still open. You know what that means? I'm coming, sir. But it is difficult for me to really accept that someone will leave the comfort of his bed, her bed, on Saturday morning. I don't know about you. My Saturday, I already know first. You know, first is on a Saturday. That's Independence Day. I already look at this. Ah, man, I go rest. That's so day and all that. I love Saturday. I love my pillow. And then somebody is leaving it. Then there must be something of higher value coming up. Okay, as I said earlier, that questions come at the end of the class. It's a Q&A session. But let me take your questions, sir. He said, what if you have paid? You understand? So we take the little you have learned. You understand? Yeah, on a lighter note, please. All right, thank you. Let's go. There was a goal, and please don't embark on anything without an objective you are pursuing. We've gone past that stage of our life. We are in a stage where everything we do, there is a meaning. Am I correct? Let's begin. My goal is, for my own program, is to help you know how to run a project successfully from initiation down to closing. My goal is to help you know every one thing you should do when you have a project to run. And there are 49 of them. That is my goal from today to the end, to take you through those 49 things that we want you to do, from the initiation to the planning, to the execution, to the monitoring and controlling, and to the closing of your project. That's my goal. In specifics, on your own, you can now see the individual objectives that we want to achieve. You can look at that later on your own. We want to help you know how to successfully plan and execute projects, how to deploy the best practice in running projects, how to manage the scope of your project, know them and manage them, how to make sure that the time you were given to run a project delivers that project successfully, and it goes on and on and on and on. What we are doing here is project management professional. We are not running project management. They are two different things. What you're learning, as we have started, is project management professional. PMP, that's the acronym. Now, having said that, it has a standard, and only one body in the whole world provides that standard, and that is PMI. So there's a standard. Everything I'm going to be taking you through, it is not Dexter and Hero's idea. There is a standard that we are following. The name of that standard is called PMBOK, PMBOK. You understand? I think I have it somewhere at the first step. You can see PMBOK. You understand? So that at the end of your training, if you say, Amadi, can I have a copy of the PMBOK? Yes, I will give you about 1,000-page document. You understand? That spells out what you should do at every stage in your project. You understand? That's why I was able to say with confidence that I'm to take you through the 49 things that you're supposed to do from initiation to closing, because there's a standard. If there was no standard, I can't be making those definite comments. Is that okay? That standard is provided by PMI. So when you say, when you make comment like I'm running PMP, whether it's right here on Earth, anywhere on Earth, or a mass anywhere, so long you use that acronym PMP, the common understanding is you've learned or you're learning how to run projects using the PMBOK standard. Okay. If I was to just teach you project management by next Saturday, we are done. maybe today, sir, if you give me 3 hours, I'll wrap up everything for you on project management. But we are doing PMP. Is that okay? Terminologies will be new because it's a specialization. And it is one discipline, one training that everyone graduate should have. I've been around for some time, so I can make a comment in that direction. Is that okay? It is one qualification that I encourage, no matter what your background is, because there is no industry that don't ride on projects. Later, very soon as we define project, discover that what keeps every company going is projects. When you say a company die, it is because they stop thinking about project to embark on, and they stop embarking on projects. When you see a country, let's leave business and talk about state. When you see a state or a country stagnant, no development, it's because they have stopped embarking on projects. What we may call developmental projects. Is that okay? So the life of every business is project. The life of it, what makes every project, business to remain sustainable is projects. Projects. So that whether you are in the medical sector, whether you are in the agricultural sector, whether you are in the finance, whether you are in IT, in construction, whether you are in manufacturing, wherever sector you are, very soon you discover that bringing in value, making money is only when, as a business, as an organization, we constantly embark on projects. So if projects are the lifeline or what sustains every business, it means people who run projects are also the lifeline of every business. It is one thing to initiate a project. It's another thing to deliver it successfully. So we need people. And it is not a common sense. It is a specialized sense. It's not a common sense, it's a specialized training that I'm a medical doctor does not translate that I can deliver medical related projects successfully. Yes, I'm a technical person medically, but if I'm not trained on how to run a project, I won't be able. Let's say, for example, I need to manage the project of vaccinating children, let's say in Nasarawa State against polio. That's like public health-based project. If you just ask, oh, because he has MBBS, she has MBBS, he can deliver that. No, it doesn't work that way. Because I'm a civil engineer or an architect does not translate that for every construction or infrastructure-based project, I can deliver. No, it doesn't work that way. Until you are trained properly on how to run projects. And that is why, if I'm trained on how to run projects and I'm trained adequately, maybe I have my BSc in Igbo technology, I can deliver any, mark my word, any projects. If you ask me to manage the project of launching Nigeria satellite to space, I'll deliver that project success. So long I have been trained on how to manage projects. So what is a project? Let me maybe hear about 2 or 3 people say something. In your own language, what's a project? You have opinion. We call it graduate professional program. Nobody in this class is less than first degree. What's a project in your own school, on your own view? Somebody say something, please. I'm going to you again, and I can always go to the back to say, ask someone to say something. Yes, my brother. An assignment to be done. Very good. And you got it. Anybody? Yes, my dear. It's a short term. Oh, she has expanded it. It's not just an assignment. She said there's a timeline. That's what you're saying, right? Awesome. Brilliant. Anybody want to say something again? Yes, sir. Is a set goal that needs to be accomplished. Thank you. Yes, I'm coming to you, sir. Yes. An objective you want to attain. Very correct.
A well-defined, articulated objective that has a time frame embedded in it towards achieving a particular purpose.
A well-defined, articulated objective with a time frame with the goal of achieving a purpose. You did English in school? You're a Liberian. Okay, it's within the family. Know what we're talking about. Yeah. Thank you. Everything we have said is absolutely correct. Maybe we should combine everything everyone has said. Number one, a project is an assignment. A project is an assignment. But not all assignments are projects. Play it around, play it in your mind. A project is an assignment. Not all assignments are projects. You know, if you, with that understanding, you can begin to ask yourself, okay, if not every assignment is a project and a project is an assignment, then what do I look out for in an assignment before I can qualify it a project, before I can say a project? Every day you go to work, am I correct? And as you come to work, there's always an assignment given to you. True or false? Yes. So how do you know whether that assignment is a project? I want us to look at it so that we can also demystify project. You know, sometimes when I use the term project, sometimes what comes to my mind, man, building a tunnel from Accra, Ghana to Abuja, Nigeria. That's project. You understand? Sorry for that. Maybe designing a 52,000 terabyte laptop. Building a robot that can number all Nigerians in 2 minutes. Are they projects? Are they projects? All these are they projects? They are projects. But I want us to really now break it to see that a project can also be an assignment that will last just for some hours. An assignment that will last just for some days. An assignment that can last just for some weeks, some months. So it has nothing to do with the complexity of that assignment, but it has everything to do with the nature of that assignment. So let's look at it. A project is an assignment, but not all assignments are projects. So what do I look out for in an assignment if I call it a project? Like my sister rightly said, timeline. That assignment must have a timeline, meaning a period is designed to be accomplished. We call it temporal. When something has a deadline, a timeline assigned for it to be done, you say it's temporal. So let's speak English. A project, an assignment that is temporal is considered or being considered to be a project. Let me say being considered until we check the second one, the second characteristics. So before you can call that assignment you have to carry out as a project, check. Is there any deadline? Maybe they told you, get this done within 2 weeks. Is that a deadline? Yes. Get this done maybe on or before 16th of October. Is that a deadline? Yes. Deadline can be a period like the 2 weeks, 2 months, 1 hour, or it can be a specific date, like get it done by 16th of October, it should be finished. That also timeline. 2, Such an assignment, at the end of it, must give you a result that you guys don't have before. So we use the big word, unique results. Please pay attention to this. Unique results means something you don't have before. So, okay, before I give that scenario, let me finish my definition. When you have an assignment, you act. Any deadline? Yes. You act. The results at the end of this my assignment, is this something we already have in our organization? If the answer is no, then the result is unique. If the answer is no, we don't have it, then the result is unique. If the answer is yes, we already have it and only reproducing it, then that's not a project. The result is not unique. Then what is it? It's an operation. When you are carrying out an assignment, and at the end of that assignment, the result you get is something you already have, just that you want to recreate and reproduce more of it. That assignment will be project. It is called operation. You know, in every organization, we have people we still call operation managers. Am I correct? And just like we have project managers. So we have operational active assignment and we have project assignment. And I've just given you a very quick way of knowing the difference. In operational assignment, you get same result. Let's take a scenario. So I work for Elim Water. Some of us know Elim Water. So we provide sachet water. We began business about 8 months ago. I'm creating a scenario. The numbers are not exact. We began business about 8 months ago, and what we do is sachet water. The demand for our product was very high. People love it. They say the water nice. After about 8 months, as I said, we started getting some demands. People started asking us, don't you guys have the bottled version of your product, as in the bottle? We say, no, we don't. Look at what usually happens. Because we know how many we sell every week, every day, what we usually do is 1, 2, 3 are the people in production. Once we check the warehouse and we see that the inventory has depleted, that is the number of bags of water left in the warehouse to be sold has gone down. We just send a memo to them and say, produce more number. Let's say today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday, and usually Monday demands are very high. We sell close to 15,000 bags on Monday. And as of this Sunday morning, what we have is just about 500 bags left. A memo came to them and said, hey guys, between now and the end of Monday tomorrow, we need you guys to produce 15 bags of sachet water. Look at the assignment between now, being Sunday, and what? Tomorrow, end of work tomorrow. You guys need to produce 15 bags. Let's analyze that assignment. Is it temporal? Yes, it's temporal because they were given a deadline. Yeah, the results they will get, is it something company already have? They've always been producing sachet water, so it's not something new. They already have it. So is this assignment between now and tomorrow, produce 15 bags of sachet water, is it a project assignment or operation? You've gotten it. Then, guys, people are asking for bottled water, and they say they like our water. You know, we don't have bottled water. What do we do? Okay, is it possible that you guys can just put your head, let's say between now and the next 3 weeks, if you can come up with a design of our sachet water, let's see what we can do about it. Is that an assignment? Between now and next 3 weeks, come up with a design our bottled water. Is that an assignment?
Yes.
Is it temporal?
Yes.
It's only 3 weeks. Is the results that we get, is it something we already have? It's unique. We don't have bottled water anywhere. So this assignment is an operation or project. It's a project. So Ekiti State wanted to solve water poverty in their state. They wanted at least close to 90% of the residents in Ekiti State to have access to clean water. How will they do this? They called our company. We are into drilling. Morning, all right, sir. They told us, the governor told us, showed us a location, Igogo Ekiti to be specific, in our Ekiti local government. He said, build us a borehole, and he gave us the specification. For the next 4 months, we need this borehole to come live. And the borehole must supply 6 local governments constantly water in these states. And he gave us the list of local government the borehole should supply water all across from one source. We finished that project. It took us 4 months to finish it, and we delivered it successfully. Not too long, the governor of Kano State visited his friend, the Ekiti State governor. And the Ekiti State governor showed him what he has done, the water project. And the Kano State governor was like, man, I like this. Who did this for you? They gave them our contact. When the governor got back to Kano, he called and we went. He didn't speak much English. He said, guys, what that thing you did in Ekiti State, just exactly, don't remove anything. All he did was he showed us location and showed us number of local government. He said, the same thing you did in Ekiti State, do for us. This assignment in Kano, and they gave us also 4 months. This assignment in Kano, is it a project? So let's see whether it's a project. Is it temporal? 4 months, right? The results we are going to get in Kano, is it something that they already have? Maybe I gave you the answer by saying they already have. Always consider results from sponsor's point of view. The person that initiated the project is called a sponsor. The people that owns the project are called the sponsor. So when we say the result is unique, we're talking about the owner of the. We're not saying that we, ABC drilling company, we're not saying that we've not done this kind of assignment before. But the point is, this client, Kano State government, does not have a result like this anywhere in Kano. Therefore, it's unique. Why did I have to bring that scenario? Because when you work in an organization, particularly when you manage projects for clients, your project will likely be similar, but for different clients. So we cannot say that it is unique to you. It's not. The unique we're talking about is not the process. It's not the work. It is result. Who owns the result? The man, the woman, the people that engaged you, the sponsor. Can you not get that? You understand? So Mobolaji, right? Mobolaji is the head of HR in our organization. About 620 people in terms of their staff strength. As head of HR, she always wants to make sure salaries are paid. This is their process. She prepares the payroll, submits it to internal control, who will go to the payroll to see whether there are some fraudulent activities in the document. If there is anything, and not only fraudulent, to check whether those that are owing company deduction for that month has been done. No, sometimes you loan money and company is deducting every month. So internal control will confirm whether did they remove to this month's remitter of this person. Those are the things they do. When internal control finishes, they push it to the MD CEO, who now with confidence knows that internal control has done their work, but he will still go through. If he sees error, no wahala, he sends for Mobology for correction. And then when MD is fine, it is sent to account. An account will push it to bank, and bank will honor the document to pay and all that. Their company pays the last day of every month. That's their portion. So because sometimes when she submits the document to internal control sees an error and they send it back to her for correction. Sometimes the MD is the one that sees an error and send it back to her for correction. So sometimes this document moves back and forth for correction, and it can take some days. So she's a smart lady. What she does is, since we pay every last day of the month, she always makes sure that her own first version of the payroll is ready by 25th of every month. So that no matter how back and forth the thing won't move, by the last day, if I don't work out, go back and payment is done. You understand? So, but something happened in December 2021. She got a memo as of December 3rd from her MD. And the memo reads, Mobology, prepare the payroll for December 2021 and submit to me on or before 10th of December. I'll repeat the assignment what the memo reads. Prepare the payroll for December 2021 and submit to me on or before 10th of December. Is that an assignment? Is that an assignment? Is that assignment a project or an operation? Let's check it. Let's walk through what we normally do. Is it temporal? Between now and 10th, on or before 10th of December, it's temporal. Is the result unique? Yeah. Somebody say yes, most of us say no. Okay, let's find out. What will be the result? You can't say whether a result is unique or not. Unique means something the result that does not exist before. We don't get them before. Now the first time they get this result with this. That's unique. You understand? Now, before you can say whether it's unique or not, you must ask yourself, what is the result? So what's a Mobology's assignment result? What's the result? Payroll. Again, make sure everyone gets paid. Any other person, what's the result? Payroll for the month of December 2021. The result is in the assignment. Prepare the payroll for December 2021. So that is the payroll. That is the result, sorry. Make sure everybody gets paid on time is impact. That's benefits. That's not the result. You understand? Somebody say something again. Somebody say payroll. There are many payrolls. So the result is right there in the assignment. Prepare the payroll for December 2021. So the result is December, because when you're going to submit the result, you're going to say, Ma, sir, this is December 2021 payroll. That will be your comment. So now you know the result. Is it unique? Do you have it anywhere in the organization?
Yes.
Do you have it anywhere? You want to say something?
I think it is unique now.
Yes. We don't have December 2021 anywhere. We don't have it. If we had it, the assignment we read, Mobology, can you publish more copies of December 2021 payroll? That would have been the assignment. Yes. Every time she's embarking to create a new payroll, she treats as a project. The reason I'm taking time to explain this is so that you can be able to identify projects, assignments that are projects, and that will now change your strategy of approaching it. That's when you begin to deploy all the techniques we are going to be learning now. If you're able to, oh, this is a project, then you begin to now do those 49 things I said I'm going to be telling us you're supposed to do. Because the strategy we deploy for running operational assignment is not the same for running project assignment. But you can't know what strategy until you're able to say, this one a project, this one no be project. So like you rightly say, sir, every time she think about, hey guys, we need to get the January 2022 payroll ready. She has initiated a project. I'm coming, sir. She could assign it to someone, say, you're the one in charge of this project. Let me have it by 20th. She has a reason for saying 20th. You understand? And that's a project. I hope it's not a question. We can keep our grand rules. Question at the end, sir. Can I go on? Thank you. So I have this project, and I was asked for the next 8 months, for every child between the age of 2 to 10 years old, vaccinate them against polio in this state, Nasarawa State. Is that a project? Let's check. Is it temporal? 8 months I was given. Is the result unique? What's the result? Vaccinated what? Before the project, you had a community of children between 2 and 8 that were vulnerable to polio. After the 8 months, what you're leaving behind is a community of children between 2 and 10 that are now protected against polio. Was that existing before? No. Next time you have an assignment, check out for those two. The third characteristics, projects are progressively elaborated, or projects elaborate progressively. Look at the words, elaborate, progress, elaborate, progress, elaborate. What does that mean? It means in everyday language, you will never know everything about your project from start. But as you start working on the project, things you never knew will begin to unfold. And a very common area that elaborates progressively your project is in costs. Is it correct? Because of variations in market condition, variation in prices. Sometimes we budget that this project will cost 20,000 naira. And it's going to last 6 months. By the time we get to somewhere around the 3rd month, changes happen in marketplace. And it becomes obvious that 20,000 naira budget can no more deliver this project. Why? Because prices of tin has moved from what we thought it was 3 months ago to a new price now. 3 months ago, did you know that? Did you have that information that these items will change from being 2 naira to 220? No, you didn't know that. You couldn't have known that. You couldn't have known that. So when we run projects, please bear in mind that things you don't know can happen within the project, outside the project. So we gave it a name, that project elaborates progressively. Because of these elements of project, when I run project, when you run project, open your heart to changes. Change will always happen in your project. And that is why part of the 49 procedures I'm to tell you and to teach you is, one of them is, how do you accommodate changes into your project? A process we call perform integrated change control. What is the due process? Because don't just wake up as a project manager and then just make changes. You don't do that. There are stakeholders engagement, there are procedures to even get the change approved. Later on, I'm going to tell you changes that you can actually make without disturbing sponsor. And I'll tell you 3 changes you cannot make, no matter how powerful you are as a project manager. You understand? But bear in mind, just for now, that as you run projects, things you never know will begin to unfold. You thought that 10 people will be enough in your team, but as the work unfolds, you begin to say, "Kai, let's go need like 3 more hands." So it has your labor has elaborated. You were thinking that maybe, hey, this activity or this aspect of the project, I think within 3 months you should be done with it. And as you start working on it, you discover that 2 months is enough. Let us always not paint a negative picture that is always in that negative. It can also be in a positive direction. So when you run projects, bear in mind that it will elaborate. Many things elaborate in time, in risk, in human resources, which is what you call labor, in the scope, in the works you are doing. Because you can be carrying out a project and then the sponsor say, "Hey, Amadi, is it possible? I don't think I want the cover to be round anymore. Can you make the cover to be 4 corners, rectangular, something like that?" That's an elaboration in scope, in product scope. That's what we call projects. Project is what takes an organization from where they are to where they want to be. Project drives changes. Let's take an example. Where are we? Project will take you from your current position as a company to that future position you want to be. Where are we? For the past 3 years, 5 years, when we close our books at the end of the business year, our profit has always been 15 million naira. We've maintained that figure for the past 5 years. Every time we close our books at the end of the business year, our profit is 15 million after all deductions. Coming into the new business year, we were like, "Hey guys, let's do something better now. Must we be 5 years, 15 million? Can't we improve?" And all that. We now projected that by closing of this business year, we will have a profit margin of 25 million naira. What's the additional value? 10 million. Our current state is what? 15 million. Our future state is what? 25 million. How do you get that 25 million naira? It's only projects, quotes me. It's only when you think about a project or some projects that will deliver you that additional 10 million naira value. That's when you can get to that future state. And that's why you're seeing it. That the vehicle that can take you from where you are to where you're anticipating to be is project. If you want to continue being where you are, keep doing what you're doing. Just run your operations, your everyday operations, no wahala. But if you want to have some change on your bottom line, then you think about project. What's our current position? Workers come to work late. Our resumption time is 8 o'clock. But guess what, guys? The open secret is that the first person coming to work every day comes by 10:15. First person. But for book, now 8 o'clock supposed to resume. And when this guy come by 10 o'clock or 10:15, he go put 7:05. I know we can relate, right? Yes. If you work in public sector, you can relate very well. If he make mistake, put something like 7:30, his colleagues will be against him or her. He said, now you don't put 7:30, what you will come put? Because you put 7:31, maybe 7:35, or maybe the first person came and put 8:55. sorry, 7:55. They will ask you, what do we go put now? Because if we all put 7:55, they will be to think we all came at the same time. Well, there's no staff bus. And we're not all living in the same place. So he put 7:05 to give room for others. We know that. And that is the situation we are. What is our future state that we desire? To have staff members resume at exactly or before 8 o'clock. How do we achieve that? We're back on project. What is the project? Migrate from paper-based attendance to digital attendance. So you got a memo, everybody got a memo in their email. Between so date and so they go to IT department, submit your biometrics. What was biometric? They capture your 10 fingers and your face, your department, and other information that they want to capture. 2 weeks later, after you did this, you were coming to work. You try to open the door no open. Your first seat, open. The security man now called your attention and say, madam, don't force it. See that when they blink red, just put any of your fingers there. And you did, and then the door opened on its own. And you're like, wow, new things. And then you move to where the paper, the register used to be, to sign, and it was no more there. You were showing some negative attitude. You were like, who will remove this thing here now? And all that. And again, they told you that, madam, Oga, your attendance has been taken when you put your finger there. So no need for attendance again. And guess what? The first person came by past 10 that day. And we need to be human. If you're in management, if you're in leadership in that organization, you need to be human. The first 1 or 2 days, you need to overlook. Am I correct? You need to just pretend that you don't know what is happening. I tell you the truth. After that, day one, the following day, 7:30, people don't come work. True or false? People don't come work. You understand? See, technology has benefit. When people say Nigeria is corrupt, I say because we are not ready to minimize it. You understand? We can use technology to cut down corruption. I don't want to use the word eliminate because it may be difficult, but we can cut it down to a point where people will think we are not. They say, hey, procurement, there's so much corruption in procurement. I say, look, we're never ready. Anytime we are ready, we can do public procurement without human interface. We can do public procurement without knowing who you are. You understand? But we have assessed everything. We have participated in procurement in a company outside this country. And we have seen everything portal, everything online. You submit everything, the grading, the scoring system or grading system, everybody is seeing everybody's own. When at the end of the day, they release results online and they give reason why Mr. ABC Limited got the job other than, and they will give first, second, third position, and they give reason why this person got, and you say, we go read and match and with your say, not true, I don't get that the way this person gets. You understand? So that is how we're able to move to the future. What's our current state? Customers are angry with us. What is their problem? They say we keep them for too long whenever they come to our office. Again, I think I didn't mention it. Please, our office is right here, first floor, because we're always at work, like you, Monday to Friday. Of course, I can say Saturday since we always work here. Our working hour is 9 to 5 o'clock. First floor, that's just follow this. Some of us will have our training in our office because it's also sizable enough to house up to 60, 65 people in training. Currently, training is going on there. So that for your certificate and when it comes out, you're coming to the office to pick it and not at first floor and up there. So, so customers are angry. They say, you keep us for too long. And truly, when people come to our company for anything, they stay nothing less than 45 minutes, 1 hour before they get what they want. It's impacting business. Competitors are getting them, are drawing them from us. That's our current state. The current state is customer waiting time is 45 minutes. What's our future state? We want our customer waiting time to be not more than 5 minutes. How do we get to that future state? Think about a project. Project takes you there. So what we did, okay, is anyhow we can build an interface on our website that allows customers to serve themselves to great extent, so that when they come to the office, it's just validation, which we take maybe just less than 1 or 2 minutes to validate and they go. Is there anything we can do like that? Yes. So we now created a page on our website that gave them access into the main operational part of our organization, but only your own page. That's what banks did. In those days, if you go to bank, Scarlett, they will give you tally number. You know what is tally number? Anybody know what is tally number? They give you tally number. You go and sit down. You understand? And that sitting down could be throughout the day until they call your own tally number, maybe tally number 60. And then when you come out, they will now go and carry the book, the ledger, which is a book, and start searching your last transaction. I remember vividly the Afri Bank of those days. I remember the Union Bank, the first bank of those days. You understand? And before you know it, technology started coming in. You get it? And we also know that in those days when technology now came in, I don't know about you, I was on campus still then. You go to bank, you spend the whole day. Because the queue will be from inside the banking hall to outside. You wait for your own turn. Before you know it, they say, guys, is there anything we can do this, guys? ATM came out. Even when ATM came out, some of us are still like, no, better no steal my PIN. I cannot use ATM. I have a neighbor who say he doesn't use card at all. You get it? He doesn't do anything online transaction. Before you know it, somebody say, why are you coming to bank? You can do a banking app from wherever you are. And true, some of us here can count how many times we've gone to bank this year. Why? Because anything you need, papa, you just do. For me, I can count how many times I've gone to bank this year. Self-service. I need to talk about DSTV. I need to talk about our unit for light. In those days, you go queue up. And sometimes it's almost your turn. They say, network no day. And then you go back home and come tomorrow again. But these days, even at 12 midnight, 2 a.m., your light goes up. You just take up your device, and you buy power and it goes up. They have what they call self-care. And that's how they reduce our customer waiting time. Gentlemen, ladies, point. Project is what drives change in every business. It's what takes us from where we are to where we want to be. What is project management? In my introductory, I have 3 things I want to say. Wetin be project, wetin be project management, who is a project manager? Then before we go into project initiation. What does it mean to manage project? Pay attention a little. Number 1, look at it. Managing projects means applying everything you have, knowledge, skills, techniques, tools, applying every resource you have to do what? To manage the team. I'm calling your attention to manage the team effectively. What does that mean? It's simply saying that managing project is about providing leadership. I know before coming here, most of us think, oh, managing projects about doing the work. Now we could do the work and do that. Very soon you discover that as a project manager, no be you they do the work. Oh. You're not the one doing the activities one by one. You'll soon learn that. So that's why this definition is very, very important. According to PMI, managing projects is about providing leadership. It's about deploying everything you have to ensure that you manage your team effectively the team that would deliver the result of the project. Take note of that. Managing projects is about providing leadership. 2, managing project is about ensuring, applying everything you have, techniques, tools, knowledge, to make sure that you deliver the result of that project successfully according to the requirements the sponsor has given you. Please take note. Requirement means specification. You can put that in bracket. I will keep explaining some jargons that we meet on the way. The word requirement is the same thing as specification. So the second definition is saying that managing projects about applying everything you have to make sure that you deliver the result of the project successfully, meeting the specifications that the sponsor gave you. At what point do you say that your project, you've delivered the project successfully? I have this project. It's a 6-month project. It is a 15 million naira project. At the end of the project, I delivered it within six months. And the total money I spent eventually was actually 18 million naira. But the budget they told me I should start the project is at the beginning is 15 million. But at the end of the project, the total amount I spent is 18 million and I delivered in 6 months. Is that successful project? Yes. Is that successful? Yes. Somebody say yes, somebody say no. Why did you say no? Because I shot above the budget? Why did you say yes? You cannot spend more without the approval of the sponsor. Very correct. Remember, we've already said that projects are progressively what? Elaborated. Meaning, within these 6 months, something must happen in the market that made us to incur additional 3 million naira. And this 3 million naira, whose pocket did it come from? So there's no way the sponsor would have given me 3 million naira without giving it an approval. So that input from my brother is very correct. You didn't spend that additional 3 million naira on your own. It was approved. You understand? And since it was approved, you therefore cannot define my success based on what I don't have control over. So I delivered that project, exactly 15 million naira, but it took us 8 months instead of 6 months. It took us 8 months. Is that still a successful project?
Yes.
Why? As long as, again, only the sponsor has the power to adjust delivery date. In the future, like I said, I will tell you what you ought to do to get that approval. We call it, this is what we call change request. You understand? Which is like raising a memo, seeking that, because of A, B, C, and D, we will need 3 more months or 1 more month or 3 weeks. And discussions happens and then approval or disapproval happens. Point. Success is not defined from how much you spend on the project because it is the sponsor that determines that. Success is not defined by how long the project eventually took because it is the sponsor that really sets deadline. Success is a function of were you able to deliver according to the specification that the sponsor gave. So they asked me, build me a laptop with an inbuilt projector, and they gave specifications for the laptop. They say that the laptop should not be more than 14-inch screen. Users must always can navigate with their fingers on this. That should be touch screen. The memory size should be 18 terabytes. The RAM should be 10 terabytes. And they go on and on. The battery life, when fully charged, should last for up to 7 days before needing another charging. What are these? They are requirements, they are specifications. I built the laptop. You cannot navigate across on the screen with your finger. You need to use mouse only. Is that successful? Wow. Because a specification that is important, a requirement that is important is missing out. You've gotten it. Managing project, we can move further, involves sitting down with the sponsor, finding out what the objectives of the project are. Take note of that. Finding out what the objectives are. That's what it means. You can't run a project successfully if you don't know why that project exists. Managing project involves taking the needs and expectation of key stakeholders into consideration. Please, let's not lose sight of the point there. We've introduced in a subtle manner a concept we call stakeholdership. Though I won't discuss it here, but let me draw your attention that when you run projects, your effort is also to make sure that some guys are happy. Who are these guys? Key stakeholders, not just stakeholders. Key stakeholders. And when we come to stakeholder mapping, we understand who are the key stakeholders. But for now, I just need you to know that running project is largely about keeping some guys happy. These are guys that if they cough, find out why they are coughing. If they are not laughing, if they are frowning, be crying. Reason because the success of your project is in their hand. They're not plenty. And just they feed they like maybe 2, 3, or 4, or 5. They know they plenty. But they are the influential people in that project. No matter how good you are, if you're not able to manage these guys very well, so sorry, you can't be successful. What is this definition of project telling me? Project management telling me? It's telling me that managing project is about managing relationship. Go home with that. That a project manager is a relationship manager. Soon discover in our learning that more than 60% of your effort in managing project is about working with people. Call stakeholders. But narrow it a little here. That managing project is about finding out what is the need of this stakeholder. She's a key stakeholder. What does she want? What is her interest? How can I make sure that I keep her expectation met? It's a huge work. Big work. Managing projects is about balancing constraints. I've introduced a new concept again. Constraint, sorry, sir. What is constraint? So, but before we talk about what is constraint, just store it in your mind that when I run project, I'm going to be battling with constraints. I'm going to be dealing with constraints. Constraints are factors that want to limit you from achieving any of your objectives in the project. You know, I have several objectives when I run project. One of them, I want to deliver within the approved budget. It's an objective. Any factor that is working against me achieving that is a constraint. I want to deliver this project within the approved timeline. That's an objective. Any constraint any factor that want to make me deliver beyond that timeline is a constraint. You understand? I want to keep my stakeholders happy. It's an objective. I want to keep my team members motivated. It's an objective. I want to make sure that there is no error in my result. Every one result I'm getting is an objective. Anything that want to make you deviate from those objectives, we call constraint. And look at the attitude we say you should have about constraint. Balance it. You can quote me. There's scarcely no project you're going to run from start to finish without facing some constraint. You know, But guys, what do we do about constraints? What balance? You know what is balancing? Find your way around it. That's what it means. Not every time you knock the door of the sponsor and ask for more money. Some other time you ask yourself, how can I work around this cost issue? Sometimes it could mean, okay, instead of us buying this thing in what do you call Wuse market, this material, why not just check Day or Suleja? I think we can get it cheaper. You understand? That could be the way you want to balance that little cost differential. Sometimes you may say, gentlemen, guys, ladies, we can't close 4 o'clock as we know officially because we are running behind schedule. Until further notice, our closing hour is now 6 p.m. So we resume by 8, we close by 6 until further notice. Further notice for you means until the project is back on track in terms of schedule. And that start happening. Why did you do that? You didn't just want to go to the sponsor and say, okay, can you give us 3 more weeks? You didn't want to do that. So your attitude towards constraint should be balance it. Balance it. Find a way around it. If you have that mindset, it helps you to eliminate excuses. I stumbled into this definition of management, as in the word management. This is what it reads. I don't know who owns that definition. It says management means delivering what is desired using what is available. Later on, you regurgitate that definition. That's huge. It means get results, no matter how difficult it is. It means no excuses. I had my former boss in Port Harcourt when I was working in Port Harcourt. Brilliant woman, one thing that she does not want from any of us is excuse. When she gives an assignment, her mind is blocked for results. If you like, go outside this earth to go get it, go and come back. Difficult. But at the end of the day, I learned from her that there is road on this wall. You see this wall way there like this, road there, you can pass. She taught us that. I remember one time, our office was very close to Share Residential there in Port Harcourt. I remember one time she sent me to go help her cash a check, and it was just few minutes to 4. And I had to go a very long distance. Imagine going from here down to Barnet. If you lived in Port Harcourt, you know that traffic is a problem because the road is really not too wide. I was like, it's impossible. Because of the experiences I've had with my boss before, I had only one thinking, Amadi must bring this money back. See, if you bring excuses to my boss, it's better you don't come back. Because when she finished talking to you, you go look yourself for me, you go ask, now me, is it me that I was talking to? You understand? And I've done it. I will get home, I'll just be thinking, was I the one madam was just insulting like that? The insult she will heap on you, you don't want that. So when I thought of it that day, I said, a lie. I went, they say bank don't close. I told the security man, you don't understand. I must go home with this money. You understand? I insisted. That is when I discovered that when bank closed, they get one door with there for bank. And I entered and I took the money back home that day. It is hard. Her teachings were, she put it very bold on her wall. Excuses are signs of incompetence. And that was our principle. And I believed it at the end of the day. I said, true. When you give somebody an assignment, instead of bringing results, it brings you excuses. What does that tell you? That does that not define incompetence? Is a subject that we can leave for debate. Am I correct? Yes. Let's just leave. Let's not even discuss it for now. But live with that attitude that I'm not going to bring excuse. Let your career life be that way, no matter how difficult. Now, I've discovered psychologists will tell you, once you tell the brain you cannot, it shuts down. But once you tell the brain, yes, you can, I don't know how the energy happens there in your brain, but you just see possibilities. That's what we're talking about, balancing constraint. Find a way. It makes project managers resourceful. It makes project managers creative. Always final. So there are some constraints that you will not escape, no matter the kind of project you manage. Look at them now since then day. You don't get project. If you like, they manage, no matter the industry you run, you're running that project. One or two or more of these constraints will impact your project. It's good you know them, look out for them. It could be what? It could be time. Time may not be much for you, but you have much to do. It could be resources. Please, when we say resources in project, we mean three things. You may want to note it. You understand? We mean labor. We mean material that they will use to do their work. And three, we mean the equipment that they are going to deploy in course of their work. Please, these three comes under that single word, resources. Let me just draw our attention. Money no dey inside resources. We don't call costs. We don't call money resources. It's standing alone. You can even see that it's standing alone as costs. Because you will need money to make these resources available. There can be constraints. Labor can be a constraint. You need 15 people, they say, I beg, company management say, now only 8 will give you for this project. What do you come back telling us? Man, my project is understaffed. Is that not the language? That's the language. That's already a statement of constraint of labor. You could also have that 15 people you say you need. You say you need 15 people, right? We gave her 15 people. Guess what? 14 of them knows nothing. They don't know their left or their right. Is that a human resource constraint, Steve? Is that a labor constraint? Yes. It is. Equipment can be a huge constraint. Maybe you don't have enough, or maybe the one you have is breaking down every two days. Material can be a constraint. Scope can be a constraint. When we say scope again in project, we mean two things. One, project scope. Two, product scope. I think we should explain them very fast. Project scope means the works you will do in the project. WORKS. All the works that will be done from beginning to the end of the project is what we call the scope of the project. So next time you're asking, it's not like I ask you, hey, how long will it take you to do this? You say, I need to understand the scope first. You do hear that language now. What he's trying to say is that I need to know all the works involved. That's project scope. Products is another word for results. Before I explain product scope. Product. So if I ask Mobalaji, what's the product of this project? My expression is simply, what is the result of this project? The word result comes in different terms. Results, outcome, products, deliverables. You understand? So it can be a scope, it can be a constraint. So what is product scope? It's another word for characteristics. Which one do you want to put off, man? Okay, it's here. Product scope means the same thing as the features, the functions, the characteristics of the result, or better put, another word for specification. So that laptop you built, what is the scope of the laptop? You tell me that it's a touchscreen laptop. It has an inbuilt projector, and the memory size is 18 terabyte, and the RAM is 10 terabyte. The battery life is 1 week when fully charged. The screen size is 14 inch. What am I giving you? I'm giving you the scope of this product. It's the same thing as spec, specification, the characteristics, the features. Any of them, project scope or product scope, can really be a wahala when you're running project. They say, we want this specification. Maybe they say, we want the blue to be sea blue. And you keep mixing, trying to get the sea blue. And you brought it, they say, no, this is not the exact sea blue. What are you battling with? Product scope. Quality can be a constraint. Waiting be quality. What is quality? It was raining just by the FCDA junction here, so I bought an umbrella and 400 naira. And my friend, what's his name? Queen was coming down to SCWSH. She bought her umbrella to 4,000 naira. When we got here, Queen was dry. Queen was wet. The whole of her back was wet. The canvas of her umbrella was leaking. So I now tease her, say, this order carry 4,000, go spend for umbrella. And the thing no can protect you. This your 4,000 umbrella and my 400 naira umbrella. Which one be quality one, sir? Which one is quality?
400.
Okay. You remember that time now? Presidential dinner. They invited us for the dinner. They gave us a dress code. Men, dark suit, one button. You understand? So I don't get dark suit. My friend don't get dark suit. So I went to Taco Market. I bought dark suit, one button, 25K. He's a big boy. He was checking the net. He saw one dark suit at $1,500. You understand? He paid. It was a 2-button dark suit, sweet, tailor-made, Italian. On the day of the dinner, there was a corporate bouncer at the door. His work was to check those who conform to dress code. So when he saw me, he did like this. I should come in because I showed him my invitation card. And he bounced my guy that he cannot come in. And he was like, what is the problem? He said, your dress code wrong. Convert it, $1,500. Convert it, you know what I'm talking about. He felt embarrassed. He said, what is this? What's the difference? He said, the difference is that you have 2 buttons and it is 1 button suit we want. Guess what somebody is saying? Go and remove one. Go by the corner, cut one from what? And maybe you can just use your other hand to hold the other button hole, like a swag, am I correct? Yes. Another, but my guy felt more like he was being embarrassed. And he told me, I'm at the go house. At the go house, when we come back, we'll see. And he didn't, this after all, my club have match to play, sir. My God. And he didn't attend the dinner. When I got to him, I was teasing him. I said, bro, this one don't go carry $1,500 buy suit. You know, can't carry you enter the dinner where you're supposed to carry you. This your suit, $1,000, and my 25,000 naira suit. Which one be quality oneself? I'm only hearing $1,500. And you're wrong. You know why you're wrong? Over here, we define quality based on what we spend. And that is a wrong definition. And business people take advantage of that. Quality means the ability of a result, a product, to do what it's expected to do. It has nothing to do with what you spend. I think the problem is we confuse the word quality and grade, G-R-A-D-E. So we interchange them. The reason all of us said, $1,500, do you know what it means? What you're defining is grade, not quality. Bro, why did you buy that suit? He has so much suit in his wardrobe. But his only reason for buying that suit was to give him access to the dinner. Did they give him? No. Why did you buy that umbrella? To keep you dry. Did you keep you dry? No. It didn't do what it's supposed to do. Quality is the ability of a product to do what it's intended to do. Is that a super great suit? I will respect myself, no argue. That is super great suit. You cannot compare it with 25,000 naira suit. No fit. But did he do what he's supposed to do? No. Do you know why we have to define this? Why we put quality that way? So that you know, Scarlett not come and tell us, say, Amadi, no say na because that money no to remain 1,000. That's why this error there for this result of the project. Quality has nothing to do with money. In a broader sense, quality means absence of error in results. It can be a problem. Like I was saying, my elder sister, I grew up with my elder sister. She was more like a mother. And she is more like a mother for us because we lost our mother quite early. So she stepped in at younger age and started being a mother, even when she was not yet married. So she's into this business of bringing in fairly used women wear, the one we call Africa, there in Lagos. So she goes to Cotonou, she brings in bales in and sells. So of course, I grew up with her. I'm the last of the family of 6, so she's the first. You can see, you can imagine. So whenever she's at Cotonou, I observed that some group of women will come over to our house. Some of them will sleep that particular Tuesday evening, just waiting for her to arrive. Who are these? People who owns big shop for wear boutique. What were they waiting for? Why did they come? They always want to be the first to pick the first ones. They call it first grade. And when they pick it, maybe my sister will sell to them each one 500 naira. Visit them later at their boutique. That same 500 naira item, they've put it in nylon. They have on blue, is it blue lights? They've on blue lights for it, and they have put a price tag stick on it, 5,000 naira. I know there's this psychology in marketing that when you say price tag, you don't price. Allah you. You understand? And you guess what? Maybe she came to my sister direct and bought hers, 500. The same thing. She went to one of the customers' boutique and bought 5,000. Do you know the argument that exists between them? Na fake you buy now. Say na fake. Na China you that's what we used to call it. Say na China you buy. Whereas it's just the same thing, but just pack. Oh, somebody have mentioned the name packaging. You understand? So please don't confuse grade with quality. When you run projects, there are 3 major objectives I want to achieve. Deliver within budget, deliver within time given, deliver without error, within quality. Those are my 3 key objectives, among other objectives. Risk can be a constraint, guys. Risk can be a huge constraint, and we'll talk about that. Hey, guys, what did I say? When you manage projects, remember that there are constraints you need to deal with by balancing them. When you run projects, there are 10 areas you need to manage in that project. 10. Wow. Even if you didn't come to this training this morning, if I had come to your house early this morning and wake you up and say, Samuel, tell me one area you will need to manage in your project. You would have said, Ahmad, I need to manage my cost. Am I correct? You would have remembered, I need to manage the 2 weeks they gave me for the project, which is your schedule. You would have said, I have some risk I'm already looking at that will happen. I need to deal with that. Am I correct? These resources, so I need to manage it so that the team will be enough. You understand? So look at it very well. Look at the list. I'm not explaining any of them yet. We're going to still need them, but my goal on this slide is let you know. Say, anytime you are managing a project, there are 10 areas that you must focus and make sure you manage very well. If you fail to manage any of them very well, that will become an avenue for trouble to come into the project. I'm going to come back to it. Look at them very well. You need to manage scope, you need to integrate. Integrate means to coordinate your project. Make sure that every aspect is no aspect of the project is suffering. If you're initiating the project, you're doing the right thing. If you're planning, you're getting everything that needs to be planned. If you're executing, you're making sure that things are being done properly. If you're not trying to control it, that's when we say you are integrating. You are coordinating everything. You understand? You want to manage the works of your project so that you can focus on just the work required, and that is the scope management. You want to manage the time, you want to manage money, you want to manage resources, which I told you there are 3 of them, labor, material, and equipment. You want to manage risk, you want to manage quality, you want to, at manage quality, you want to do quality assurance, you want to do quality control, and so on. You want to manage external relationships, what we call procurement. You understand? Anytime you involve someone that is not part of your team to do something for you in a project, we say you are buying the services of that person. Imagine I was asked to build this structure, and one of the specifications they gave me is that there should be 62 cooling systems installed, that's ACs. It's going to take us 4 years to finish this project. Hey guys, I'm not going to hire people who install AC and then from day one of the project and be paying them salary only when I know I will need AC installation for just about 2 months. It doesn't make management sense to me. I think I will just wait to the point where I need to install AC. I will go outside there, hire guys who are good in installing AC, and we negotiate. I pay them for that work, and they finish it, they go. What do you think I have done? I've engaged the services of someone or organization that is not part of my regular project team. That is what we call third-party relationship. That's what we call procurement. We'll come to that. When we come to procurement, I will show you how do you come up with a criteria for evaluating their proposal, because they will submit proposal, need to do technical evaluation, need to do financial evaluation, need to select the vendor you work with or contractor you work with. You need to come up with the right contract you work with the person so that there will be no issue. We'll discuss all this. But for now, just know it's one of the areas to manage. You need to be telling stakeholders how things are going, maybe on daily basis, on weekly basis, or monthly basis. What you call now reports. That's where communication comes into play. You understand? You need to also engage stakeholders and manage them. You understand? When I run projects, I must remember that things should happen in order. You see the image you see that down there, please pick it into your mind. Pick it into your mind. That's the stages that you are to follow in every project you run. And it's in sequence. The first thing that happens to every project is initiated. So I ask you a question. Who is responsible? Who initiates the project? Thank you. In every organization, that man, that woman, whose signature is authority, that's the sponsor. There's a common name we call them, MD, CEO. Am I correct? Chairman. I don't know whatever terminology may want you use in your company, but that person whose approval is a go-ahead, that's the sponsor. That's always the sponsor. Is that okay? So in your company, your MD will always sit at the position of the sponsor. And it's the one that initiates project. What does it mean to initiate a project? We've seen, discovered that to initiate a project means to give an approval for that project to go on. We'll come to that. The second thing that happens after initiation is planning. Who does that? Project manager, you got it 100% complete. Please, even as I add to you, it means you must never delegate the planning of your project to someone else. You must never at any time run your project with someone else's plan. Planning of your project is 101% your responsibility. That does not indicate that you're not going to engage other stakeholders in course of planning, but it is your responsibility. There's nothing like, guys, okay, guys, you just plan the, since of you plan the project, when you're done, let me know, come in, let me, so that we can start executing. Wrong. After planning, what's the next? Follow the arrow. Who does that? The project stakeholders, the project sponsor, the project manager, everybody. Which of them? The project team, which of them? The team is responsible here. The team is responsible here. If you say the team because you already got it, what will be the work of the project manager during the execution of the project? Awesome. I think we can close the class. PMP is over. Did you see the double-sided arrow between execution and monitoring and controlling? That's exactly what happens. There is a one-direction arrow from initiation to planning. It simply means don't plan what has not been approved. Because if it has not been approved, it does not exist. You see a one-sided arrow from planning to execution. If you never plan and no do them, that's simple. Hey guys, if you regurgitate that and you live your professional life like that, you'll be organized. If it's not in my plan, I'm not going to do it. If I'm going to do it, I'll find a way to put it in the plan. If you didn't plan it, don't implement it. If you must implement it, plan it. Did you say double-sided arrow between execution, monitoring, and controlling? It means as execution of the project activities is going on, at the same time, monitor and control. So who is responsible there? Beautiful. Because the team will be carrying out the activities of the project execution. The project manager concurrently will be tracking. That's another word for monitoring and control. Will be tracking what they are doing. When you say a beautiful project plan, 100% correct, and the project failed. The problem was that there was an absentee project manager who, after planning, he told the team, guys, when you're done, call me. Let me come and check what you have done. And it disappeared. When you come back, you're going to have error-filled project. The execution of your project must happen concurrently with the monitoring of it. Why? So that as team members are working, you're making sure they are sticking to plan. And that's what it means to monitor. And situation whereby they seem to be deviating from plan, you bring in some control strategy to make sure that objective is still achieved. Did you see an arrow from monitoring and controlling back to planning? What does that mean? He's saying, look, when they monitor your project, if you find something when they work as you thought before, what do? Go back to the plan and adjust it. At the end of the project, when the result has been achieved, what happens? We close the project. Who is responsible? I don't catch you. The phrase, who authorizes the closure of a project? Did you see how the questioning can really make life easier? It is the man, the woman, the people who initiate that authorizes closure. So if I'm to answer that question, who closes the project? It is the sponsor. But if I put it that way, it may be misleading because it may paint a picture that the project manager has no role in closing. Whereas the sponsor is the one to authorize, hey, guys, you've done well. That's what I want. We can close. That is approval for close. And the project manager begin to carry out closure activities. You understand, which we're going to learn later on. But what do I want you to know here? I simply want you to know how project flows. You understand? And please start playing with all those. I played with some numbers right here in our learning. I've used numbers like, oh, there are 10 things to managing project. And now we are saying, oh, there are 5 stages in the life cycle of my project, 5. And I play with number like, oh, there are 49 things to do from initiation to closing. We are going to harmonize those numbers soon. We are going to see that 49 is the same thing as 10, and 10 is the same thing as 5. We discover that very soon. Is that okay? Now, for the meantime, as I close out, Is it up to 10 o'clock? Projects are best managed in phases. And I'm sure it's not new to you. I'm sure you must have expressions like, oh, we're in the phase 2 of the project. Am I correct? Oh, we're just in the phase 1. We're about starting phase 3 now. Phase 4 will finish by next 3 months. You understand? So what is this telling you? Human beings do things better when they take them small. A bit by when we bite it small. The same principle applies in projects. When you have projects, divide it into small group of works. We call a phase. What's a phase? A phase is a number of work that give you a major result in your project. Imagine I'm asked to build this fan. All the work I will do to create the blade, which is a major result, is a phase. All the work I'm going to do to make the motor that will drive the fan or drive the blade is another phase. All the work I'm going to do to make the controlling box that will regulate the fan, the motion, is another phase. So a phase in project means 2, 3, 4, 5 works that when I finish them, it will give me, I will get one major result in my project. That's a phase. And that's what we are saying. That when I run project, divide your project into those small group of works that give you major result and call it phase. What does it do for you? It helps you focus on one aspect of the project per time, focus per time, than taking the project as a whole at once. So strategy in managing project, again, I'm communicating, is best done in phases. Now, when you divide and handle your project in phases, the real issue now becomes, how do I connect my phases? How do I relate with my phases? How do I handle my phases? You have options. Number 1, you can decide to work on your phase one after the other, meaning when I finish phase 1, before I will go to phase 2. You don't have the second option. We call that sequential relationship. You have the other option. Why not me just work on 2 phases per time? Maybe as I'm working on phase 1, I'm working on phase 2 at the same time. And we call that what? Overlapping. You're overlapping your phases. Before I explain more further again, please take note of this. When you divide your project in phases, please remember to treat each phase like a project. What does that mean? It means make sure that each phase still follows these 5 stages, meaning initiate that phase, plan that phase, execute that phase, monitor and control that phase, close that phase. So when you say you're handling your phases sequentially, what it simply means is that I came to phase 1. I came to phase 1, I initiate phase 1, plan phase 1, execute activities in phase 1, monitor and control phase 1, get the result and close it. Then I'll go to phase 2, initiate phase 2, plan phase 2, execute phase 2, once I go to phase 2, close it, I'll go to phase 3, initiate. So that way, I'm handling it phase by phase in sequence, but I'm still following the normal life cycle of the project. When I say I'm overlapping phases, this is what it means. As I'm planning phase 1, I'm planning phase 2. As I'm planning phase 2, I'm executing phase 3. You understand? So what you're overlapping is any of the 5 stages in the regular cycle of the project. Any of the strategies can work. It depends on the condition you have in your project. If time is on your side, you have enough time in your project, sequencing of your phases is superb. You don't have a constraint of time, you can follow sequence of phases. So that strategy, it takes time, but it helps you to achieve high quality. Sequential relationship, focusing on one phase per time. Mistake no go 2 days if it go there at all. So quality will be high because there will be little or no error. What is time taking? The next option, overlap. Overlap benefit is the time it saves you. When you work on two phases at the same time. But the problem, Mobology, is that because your attention is on two things at the same time, problem here, that's an error can come. Am I correct? Yeah, so that's the problem of overlapping. We may have poor quality results, error in our results. And of course, an average project manager has this inner desire to deliver before the deadline. Even when time is enough, you find most project managers want to overlap their phases. That's what we want to do. So the question comes to us, can I overlap and avoid the possible inherent error that comes to overlapping? The answer is yes. How do I do that? There's an overlapping strategy we call iterative overlapping. What's that? This is ordinary overlapping. As a planning phase one, the planning phase two. You make mistake. This is ordinary overlapping. As you're executing phase one, be executing phase two. You make mistake. This is iterative overlapping that will ensure there's no error. Plan phase one. As you start executing phase one, start planning phase two. So as execution of phase one is going on, at the same time, we are planning phase two. By the time we complete the execution of phase one, we would have finished planning phase two. What happens? We just go direct to the execution of phase two. As we're executing phase two, we'll be planning phase three. By the time we finish executing phase two, that finish planning phase three, we'll just go into the direct to the execution of phase three. As we're executing phase three, we'll be planning phase four. What am I overlapping per time? The execution of the current phase with the planning of the next phase. Let me speak our everyday language like that. What I simply mean is that if you must overlap, do it this way. As soon as they execute this phase, when they plan the next one? That's iterative overlapping. There will be no error. No error because you're not executing the next, you're only planning. Is that okay? If I must overlap. Please, when you finish a phase, let's say phase one, you've gotten the result. Don't jump to the next phase immediately. Observe what we call phase gates. GATE. Maybe it's not in your manual, it's in the subversion of your manual. I'm running. Yes, I'm running. Observe phase gates. What is phase gate? A little pause at the end of each phase to review that phase. So what people call phase review. Observe a phase review. Why do we do that? We want to be certain that we have delivered the objective of this phase before we finally leave that phase. As a project manager, I don't want to go to phase two. And part of my heart is still in phase one because you get one small thing whenever tidy up in phase one. That's like having backlog of works. I'm in phase four. You get one work, we'll never finish for phase three and phase two. We'll just like make out and go type. No. In some organizations, when you work for them, manage project for them, they divide it in phases and they pay you per the phase you complete. At least one company I know that does that is TCM. We've done job for them twice. You understand? And they divide into phases. They say, when you finish this phase, we pay you. Before they pay you, they review that phase to be sure that you delivered all the objectives of that phase. That's what we are talking about. Never move to the next phase of your project until you have been able to ascertain a full delivery of the previous phase. A simple review question we ask is, has the objective of this phase two been delivered? If you get 100% yes, then move to the next phase. If the answer is no, then you begin to ask yourself what is left to be done. Modification, repeat, correction, termination of the project, whatever the case may be. Is that okay? I'm tempted to stop here, and I want to stop. Those of us who came in a little late, we had earlier communicated that when we begin our course, we always begin with project management because it takes us longer time, an average of 6 weekends to finish. So sometimes we run project management for the first 2 Saturdays. From the 3rd contact, you start running 2 courses concurrently. Let's say, for example, I say I have HRM among my courses. If you're running multiple courses of 6, you understand? You, from the 3rd class, after next class, from the upper class, after my PMP, I have to begin my HRM. You understand? So it means by the time I come by 9 o'clock that upper week, when I come by 9, it is until 1:32 that I will close. Because after my PMP, we'll have a little recess, your HR facilitator will come in, or your HSA facilitator will come in, or your customer service facilitator will come in. So the point is, let's take myself an example. So I'm running PMP, HRM, PMP, HRM. All other programs takes 3 Saturdays to finish. The 4th week is for assessment of the courses of any particular course. So my HRM will take 3 Saturdays of training to finish. You understand? So by the time I'm finishing my HRM, that would have been the day 5. Am I correct? Of my project management. On the final day of my project management, I'll begin my HSE. So that on the following Saturday of my project management, I don't need attendance in this class. Of my project management, I'm going to now be running my HSE and another. That's on the 2nd of my HSE, I'll be running HSE and my public speaking concurrently. And that's how we flow. So the point is this: we make everybody focus on 2 programs part time until you finish your program. So the way we have structured September's session is this weekend you're having your PM, next weekend you're having PM again to help us eat into project management duration. And then from 17th, you start running. By then, we would have understood everybody's program. You start running 2 programs concurrently. It could be PM, HRM, or PM, HSE, or PM, customer service, or PM, public, depending on what will let you know about that. We also have said before some of us came in that when you finish a course, we give you about 3 days to review your material. Within that period of 3 days, we send you your username and password with which you log into our portal to take assessment on that course. Every one course have their own specific assessment and specific user detail and login details, and that's not a problem. Now, what we do is for programs like project management, human resource management, and HSE, before you take your assessment, would have also part of your review exercise is we'll send you all the questions you're going to encounter. The options and the correct answer. We send it to the WhatsApp group so that you can practice it first before. For like my course, I will send you all the questions on the portal. You understand? And there are many. You get it. And then I'll give you the options for each of them, and then I will write this is the correct answer. Now, when it's time for you to take your assessment for that course, the system, like for HR and every other course, the system will just shuffle and give you 50 questions out of all the questions. You don't know which of them you will give you out of the one you practice. For my program, it will shuffle, give you 100 questions. You understand? And all that. And you take your time, you click your options and all that. Don't worry, we'll explain that and you submit. Once you submit, you see your performance. Now, so when you finish it, let's say you finish your HSC now or your human resource now or your PMP today, we give you 3 days to review your material and portal will open for you to take assessment. You understand? When we open portal, we leave it open for a period, meaning round the clock, whether it is 12 midnight, anytime you log in, and anywhere in the world you are, you log in and you take your assessment. And then, of course, at the end of the period for assessment, we now make requests for your credential on that particular course. So when you finish your PM with assessment, you have your PMP certificate, you have your HRM certificate, you have your human resource as you finish, and your HSC, your customer service, your public speaking, your OGM, your LSP as you finish them. I also told us, those of us who came a little late, that in Dexter and Heroes, the credentials you earn are jointly coming from IOMP, except HSE. HSE is the one that is jointly coming from Institute of Occupational Safety. These are the two professional bodies we affiliate with. And I said, once you're done with your training, you're qualified to be a member of any of them if you chose, and I will let you, whatever facilitator you have, will let you know. I'm only your facilitator for PMP. You're not going to see my face in other programs. Like I told them in the morning, you see Tokwe in the HSC, you see Shoma in human resource, you see Doko Dennis in customer service and public speaking, and the list goes on. So that is how we run. We also told you that attendance is compulsory. My governors, please, can you come forward? My governors, Samuel, Sheung, and Scarlett, please, just give us. Scarlett, you can face here. Sheung, you can face here. Just give everybody one. Okay, you can just face here. I will explain that later. So we also say that attendance is important for us, that when you come in every Saturday, do your accreditation. What happens there is your manual for the day is given to you. You can say I didn't finish the manual for today. So next week we'll complete it. Your manual for the day will be given because we give manual every day. Your attendance will be taken, and if you're paying, if you're subscribing to installment payment, you want to make some payment and all that. Now, I also said that when we come into the class, at a point, attendance sheet to be given out again for you to write that you were present for that course. What we use it for, just in case the one outside was omitted, this one will help us out that you were around. Please make sure your name is always in there. Those of us on Zoom, we also said that the way you take your attendance is simply to go to the chat box on Zoom, type in your full name, your phone number in bracket of it, and send in as a chat, and that is all. Is that okay? We want to have correct information about the programs you are running in our system so that we can manage it properly. Please, that's the form we have given you. Just go direct to the base and fill your full name in capital letter. Those of us on Zoom, what we are doing here, we're going to send you the electronic version of this on the WhatsApp group so that you can also fill the form and all that. It helps us to confirm what you are running. It gives an opportunity to make changes. Before you write, put your name the way it should appear on your certificate. This is the beginning of error if you don't put it well. You still have an opportunity to correct it again. That is when you're taking assessment on the portal. You can still check the way your name is. I will explain that. But for now, put it the way it always appears on your credential. You understand? Please, that phone number that is active throughout the period of the training, put it, and your email. You come to group 1 program, you are to take, for those of us running multiple programs, except few of us, you pick 3, and then for the group 2 program, you pick another 3. That is for those of us that have that offer of 6 programs. That is the 6 programs. Is that okay? When you are done, you see the sign of scissors. Just tear it out and return it to the governors, please. We would like your name to be in capital letter so that we can reconcile it with what we have on the system and correct it where necessary. We like your number also the most active so that we can, if you have multiple number in our system, we remove one and keep the most active one. Also, during the week, you're going to receive an SMS from us asking you, click this link to join your WhatsApp group. Everybody in this session will be on same WhatsApp group. If you came late, I also said that when we give you this hard copy of your manual, we also give the soft copy of the manual. We only do that through the WhatsApp group. Is that okay? Please. So when you receive that SMS from Dexter and Heroes, tap this link below to join the WhatsApp group. You just tap it and it will show you the name of the group, Dexter and Heroes GPP September 2022. That is Graduate Professional Program September 2022. And that is it. Thank you so much, guys, on Zoom. We'll meet again next week, project management, and of course, only, that means next week again, we'll be closing somewhere around this time, but from subsequent class, we start running 2 courses concurrently. If you have not put in your name in the chat box as an attendance with your phone number in bracket, please kindly do so. And that is the end of the class. The program validation form we are filling will be sent, the link will be sent on the WhatsApp group so that you can fill yours. If you're on Zoom and you're not on the WhatsApp group, please, as you put your name, include in brackets, not on the WhatsApp group, so that we can add you and you'll have everything that is needed for your program. Thank you. In the next few minutes, I will end the meeting. Let me see if I have any question to it. Any question? Question? Go ahead, sir. No, not apply. You don't apply specially for the certificate. No, after the test, we say we request for your certificate. When you fail the test, you are not entitled to the cert until you pass the test. When you are giving your username and password, say for a program like human resource management, you need for all tests 50% minimum. So let's say I took it, I scored 39. I can still sign in to retake it. Yes, you can retake your assessment as many times as possible until you pass it. Is that okay? Thank you, gentlemen, ladies, everyone on Zoom. That's the end of the class for today. If you have a friend or colleague who ought to be part of this course or session and didn't resume today, please, the door is still open by next week. After next week, we will not allow anybody into this session anymore. So such a person is free to resume next week. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being there. I love you all. Have a brilliant weekend and week ahead. See you in next class. Thank you.